Hey, what's up? It's your boy, 24/7 here with 24/7 Fusion Media. You know, I've been making videos about Ta-NehisiCoates ever since we've heard about him and J.J. Abrams concerning Black Superman and everything else with that and Bad Robot and DC, Warner Brothers, Discovery, Warner Media. Just that whole thing is just leaves a real bad taste in your mouth. So it was interesting when I seen this title. Ta-NehisiCoates calls out Marvel and their treatment of creators. It's not pretty at all. Black Panther and Captain America writer Ta-NehisiCoates recently called out Marvel Comics as well as Marvel Studios for the way they treat their comic book creators. In a lengthy interview discussing his final issue of Black Panther with Polygon, Coates made clear that the corporate side of Marvel is not pretty. While discussing how Marvel was unable to convert Black Panther filmgoers into comic book readers, Coates turned the conversation towards a critique of Marvel Comics. He stated, "I'm not so much talking about the writing, I'm talking about the marketing. I wish more had been done on that level. Can I say something else too? I'm not talking about myself here because I feel like I'm somebody who's been fortunate in the sense that I've been able to make a living in all kinds of other ways, but there are people who make their living off of comic books. And I wish that Marvel found better ways to compensate their creators who helped make Black Panther, Black Panther. I wish that they had better ways to compensate the folks who made Captain America, Captain America," Coates stated. That's interesting. You know, I've said in various videos that the whole problem with the film side of this comic book deal that we've all grown up to experience is that the comic books fuel the stories, the imagination. Like basically when you're watching these movies of Batman, Superman, Black Panther, Captain America, the comic book creators were the ones that made up the costume, created the character, the plots, the weaknesses, the strengths, the villains, the rogues gallery, the supporting casts, the cities that they're in, teammates that they have, whether they're part of a duo or part of a bigger group like as an Avengers or a Justice League. And then they start to build out that whole world. The sad thing about it is the writers, the comic book artists, they think this shit up, they create it, they put it together, formulate stories, create a canon, and then they barely get shit for it, for any of it. Then here we go. Company, Marvel, DC, the companies get bought out by corporations that really have the money to take these comic book properties to another level. Here you go, Marvel Studios being bought out by Disney. DC Comics getting bought out by Warner Brothers, and then Warner Brothers getting bought out by AT&T, and then AT&T Discovery. That whole train of events. So what happens? These movie properties take all these stories that the comic book people have made, create them into movies. The movie side of things make millions. What do the comic book side of things? The creators, the writers, even the comic book companies themselves, what do they get? Not a fucking thing. And since they're not getting shit, they're not growing. And what's happening is the studios they're taking these ideas, turning them into movies, and the only people that are benefiting from these are the actors, the studios, the key grips, the Marvel Feiges, the fucking Bob Igers, the Kathleen Kennedys, the J.J. Abrams, the Walter Hamadas, the Ann Sarnoffs. These are the folks that benefit from it. But what about Ed Brubaker, the people that created the Winter Soldier, people that have created Captain America or made Captain America who he was. People that put together who Black Panther ended up being or turning into, to where he was enough of a presence in comic books that he was able to make that leap into movies. There's a whole side of this thing that's not getting paid for their efforts. And that's fucked up. He elaborated, I'm talking very specifically here. I wish they found ways to compensate the author of the greatest Winter Soldier stories that you've ever going to read. I don't love that there's a Falcon and Winter Soldier show on TV, and I'm hearing from Ed Brubaker that he can't even get in contact with. I just don't love that. I just don't love that. And hearing from Ed Brubaker that he can't even get in contact with Marvel, I just don't love that. I don't love that. Wow. It's funny because as much of a piece of shit that we've been calling Ta-NehisiCoates, at least the one thing that he's come to understand is that whole concept of getting your ideas taken and flashed on the big screen for the world to see. As a person that created it and put it all together, you get nothing except for a special thanks in the credits at the end of the movie, which ain't shit. Because everybody knows who really made the Winter Soldier. So you don't need credits at the end of a movie to justify that. Coates added, look, I had a great time. I had a tremendous time writing for Marvel. I'm indebted to Marvel. I love my editors, Will, Tom, Elena, Sarah, Martin, Chris. I had great people working with me. He then turned his ire on the corporate side of Marvel Comics, which is owned by Disney. The corporate side of this, though, the corporate side of this is not pretty. It's not pretty at all. How you treat people who create the basis for this, I don't love it. And that is exactly what I was talking about in my videos. I've been saying the exact same shit. Like, how the fuck you gonna sit there, call yourselves Marvel, call these writers Marvel, take their ideas, throw it on the big screen, don't even pay the people who created the ideas to begin with. Boy, I tell you, that's such a slap in the face, and that's what's going on right now. Coates continued to critique Marvel Comics, and so you can start from a position of not what my contract says, but what is right, how I want to be treated, and again, not to go off. But I know especially with Ed, yeah, that's pretty fucked up how they're doing Ed Brubaker. Like, that's some real horse shit. They're really fucking that man over. Man, if y'all don't know what I'm talking about, go back into history, check out my Ed Brubaker Winter Soldier video, and I'll explain it all there, but it's really fucked. I mean, look, the 3 Captain America films are, to me, like, they're probably short of Black Panther, my favorite Marvel films. Frankly, when we start talking about sci-fi genre movies and all of that, one of my favorite trilogies, I mean, it's just really great, consistent quality, but I also know what's at the root of that, he said. Yeah, and that's the comic books. He continued, and I know reading Ed's take, how good he was for Bucky and how much just pathos and sadness. And look, I'm just talking about how I don't like killing characters. I'm sorry, I'm going on this rant. I know we're supposed to be talking about Black Panther. Coates then shared his love for the death of Captain America. The death of Captain America is just one of the greatest stories I've ever read. I'm talking about the volumes. It is fucking incredible, ridiculously good. The death of Captain America. I don't think I've ever read that in full, so might have to take a stab at that. Just hate how they fucked him over with the Nazi Captain America, and the Nazi Captain America is locked up somewhere, and he's actually the true Captain America. And the Captain America that you see running around in those videos that everybody's making fun of, that's not the real Captain America. He continued, when I was going on Captain America, I thought about that. I was like, if I can get anywhere near this, I might have done something. I didn't. I didn't, by the way. It's good. He's sitting there and he's admitting that his run of Captain America just didn't hold up to Ed Brubaker's. That's cool that he is showing the respect, I guess. Huh. Ain't that some shit? Coates then returned to critique Marvel for the way they treat creators. But to have that and to have him bleed into that book, and to have Steve Epstein bleed into that book the way he did, to see folks making billions over top of billions, and for my man to say that he can't get a phone call returned, he concluded, I don't know what the relationship will be like in the future, but as a creator, you think about that. You think about how people treat other people. You think about how corporations treat other people. And I just don't love it, dude. Yeah, I agree. I don't like that bullshit either. It's pretty fucked up. In a newsletter published back in March, Brubaker expressed his thoughts about the Falcon and Winter Soldier show on Disney+. Brubaker started off his commentary about the show expressing his happiness for Sebastian Stan and Anthony Mack. However, he quickly revealed that Marvel has given him the cold shoulder for the most part. Yeah, that was pretty fucked. I was pretty pissed when I heard that. That's why it was video time on that part. I had to let it rip. He explained, for the most part, all Steve Epting and I have gotten for creating the Winter Soldier and his storyline is thanks here or there. And over the years, that's become harder and harder to live with. I've even seen higher ups on the publishing side try to take credit for my work a few times, which is pretty golly. To be clear, I'm not talking about Tom Brevoort, who was a great editor and really helpful, he continued. Brubaker elaborated, so yeah, mixed feeling, and maybe it'll always be like that, but I sure hope not. Work for hire, work is what it is. I'm not honestly thrilled to have co-created something that's become such a big part of pop culture and even sub-pop culture with all the Bucky, Steve / fiction. And that run of Cap was one of the happiest times of my career, certainly while doing superhero comics. Yeah, I understand shit. Because what it is the fans always show the appreciation more than the comic book company or the corporations that are behind them. Yeah. He then detailed, also I have a great life as a writer, and as much of it is because of Cap and the Winter Soldier bringing so many readers to my other work. But I also can't deny feeling a bit sick to my stomach sometimes when my inbox fills up with people wanting comments on the show. Yeah, I can just imagine how fucked up that makes him feel. Coates and Brubaker aren't the first creators to bring this up. Chuck Dixon sounded the alarm back in October of 2019 in the lead up to Warner Brothers' Birds of Prey film. Yeah, that's fucked up, man. They show fucked over Chuck Dixon too. Damn. He detailed that the original creator of the team, editor, Jordan Gorfinkel, would not even get credit in the film's credits. Dixon explained why Gorfinkel would not be credited. Why is he missing? Because DC Comics has these weird rules about things, and they're rules that they're made up. They're not rules that if you break them, the FBI is going to bust down the door. Nobody cares about these rules but them. And one of the rules is if you're on staff, which Gorf was, he was an editor, and you create something, you don't get acknowledged, you don't get credit, you don't get cash, you get nothing, he added. Oh, that's pretty fucked. Dixon then detailed that neither he nor Gorfinkel would see a dime from the film because they didn't credit the creators despite creating and developing the team dynamic. He created it, I developed it. We're not going to see a dime out of it because we didn't create the character in the book. We only created the group they belong to. DC sees this as merely, musical chairs. We just sort of rearranged things they already had in place, Dixon explained. He went to say they don't acknowledge that we are owed anything, either credit or any kind of He went to say they don't acknowledge that we are owed anything, either credit or any remuneration. That's wrong, and that's part of what I'm ringing the warning bell about. Multinational entertainment conglomerates not acknowledge the work comic book freelancers put into this. Yep, that's always been a huge thing. Always. So, what do y'all think about what Ta-NehisiCoates said with Marvel creators or just creators, period, not getting credit for what we're seeing on the big screen, whether it's movies, TV shows. There's people that created all the shit that we see, and none of them are being credited properly. They're not getting paid. They're not getting their just due. They're not getting credited for anything. And to be honest, that shit is just straight wrong. I don't give a fuck how you look at it. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this shit in the comment section below. Please share, like, and subscribe if you haven't already. It's your boy, 24/7 with 24/7 Fusion Media. And I'm out. Peace.